Mohit's performance today, first match he got, another bit of sweet worry for you, Mohit or Shami, for the semi-finals?
If you think yes, it's a good one. Can't say more, it's a playing 11, you can't really announce a playing 11 right now. We're playing on the second semi-final.
So coming into this tournament, you had a tough tour to New Zealand, then another tough Asia Cup. Now you have won 4 games on the trot. So, you know, how different can you see is the mood in the camp, and what was different like for this tournament?
Well, the mood in the camp is good. It was good when we were not doing well also. And, you have to think practically the conditions, over here are very different. It's like saying, you take 18 hours going New Zealand and you take 40 minutes going to Bangladesh. It's like the conditions are entirely different. The challenges are different. Over here, spinners have something to bank upon. The ball doesn't come onto the bat nicely, so they can exploit the condition, which was not the case, before that when we toured South Africa or New Zealand. So, it's a completely different scenario. You can't really compare. So I would just talk about the performance over here. It has been good. Even the last T20 World Cup that we participated, I thought overall the performance was good, apart from that one game where we lost badly to Australia. So that's where we stand as of now. Now that almost the whole of middle order is also tested, so I have one less question to answer in the press conference. So overall, a good performance today.
How did you enjoy the fun today? I mean, the second part, second half of the night.
It's never fun, when you're playing against the best teams. In a World Cup, more often than not, you compete against some of the best teams, and you have to be at your best in a format like this. If one of the individual has a brilliant day, it can actually change the course of the game. So it's no more really fun. You try to enjoy it, but that enjoyment doesn't really get close to saying it was fun. So I think it was a challenge. We didn't have too many runs, against a batting lineup that is very strong, right from the top to bottom. They've got big hitters in their side, and against a team like that, they can actually win a game in 15 or 16 overs, or they may lose a game quite easily also, because they've got some really big hitters. So it was not fun. We wanted to win this game, and I thought the bowlers bowled really well. Not only the spinners, even the fast bowlers, Bhuvi and Mohit, I think they also bowled well.
I'm just not taking anything away from how well they were performed with the ball today, but it seemed that shot making was getting difficult as the evening progressed. We're playing the semi-finals and the finals in the same venue. Do you think slow pitches are like the trend going forward, and do you think that is advantageous to India and possibly other teams from the subcontinent that might qualify?
Well, it will be the same track for everyone. One good thing is there's not much dew over here if you compare it to Chittagong, which makes it even for both the sides. And to some extent, you may say, the subcontinental teams, they generally have good spinners in their side, so they can exploit the condition better than some of the other teams. It's like saying when you get a green top wicket, more often than not, it's the team from outside the subcontinent who can really exploit the condition more. So it's the same scenario over here. So far, the wicket has been on the slower side, and you have to play good cricket to win.
MS, with UV getting into form, hitting big sixes, do you think that team has peaked at the right time, and are there
I
any
hope
areas?
so.
Are there any areas of concern? Because
Well, I hope so. We are doing well. We have bowled really well so far in the tournament, but still, as I said, on that particular day, you have to bowl well and bat well. It's a very short format, 20 overs. Every couple of overs that you bowl, they can actually change the entire course of the game. So you have to see at which pace the game is going, and all the things that are happening. It's not very easy to judge a T20 game, and you have to be in the scenario, in the mix of the game on that particular day. So I think it will be interesting, the coming games, the semi-finals, of course. So I feel, the better teams will be the ones who will play consistently and win games.
Am I happy in a way that things worked out in such a way that you are forced to bat first and defend the target?
No, we wanted to bat first in this game. Once we lost the toss, it was not really in our control. So overall, very happy that, we were able to bat first and set a target. The middle order was tested. We lost a couple of wickets, and after that, it was not really coming onto the wicket, so off the wicket. So it was slightly difficult for the batsmen to freely rotate. And, that's a kind of scenario that we may encounter in the coming games, because the wickets are on the slower side. And, at times you tend to still look at maybe 160 plus is a good score. We need to accelerate, and you lose too many and you end up getting 130 runs. So I felt in the middle period, Yuvraj batted really well. He gave himself time. It was an ideal opportunity for him to, see through the initial 10 or 15 deliveries. And we all know the kind of batting lineup we have. Anyone who eats up the deliveries initially, if he stays till the end, he'll make much more runs than the amount of delivery he faces. So that's a big positive for us. And overall, the whole batting lineup got a bit of batting. So, it looks good as of now, and hopefully we won't have any injuries before the semis.
माही ये टूर्नामेंट की शुरुआत होने जा रही तो हमारे ग्रुप में एक लास्ट टाइम का चैंपियन था, एक वुड बी चैंपियन था और हमारा परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा नहीं हो रहा था और आज अगर देखा जाए तो चारों मैचेस हमने स्वीप कर लिए. क्या आप बोलोगे ऑल इज वेल? क्या हो रहा है ये T20 क्रिकेट क्या है ये?
नहीं, T20 क्रिकेट जैसा कि मैंने बोला, जज करना काफ़ी मुश्किल होता है और इस कंडीशन में स्पेशली और थोड़ा मुश्किल इसलिए होता है क्योंकि अगर आप 3-4 ओवर जो बीच के मिडिल ओवर्स के खेलते हैं उसमें गेम कम्प्लीटली चेंज हो सकता है आप 10 ओवर में आपके 80 रन हो और 2 विकेट गिरा हो, बट अगले 4 ओवर में आप हो सकता है आप सोचें कि हमारे पास 8 विकेट है, चलो एक्सेलरेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं और उस दौरान अगर आपके 3 या 4 विकेट गिर जाते हैं देन इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर द लोअर ऑर्डर. वो आके फ्रीली शॉट्स नहीं खेल सकते. तो गेम बहुत चेंज होता है, स्पेशली सब कॉन्टिनेंट में T20 अगर विकेट्स थोड़े स्लोअर साइड में हो तो काफ़ी जो कोर्स ऑफ द गेम हम बोलते हैं वो काफ़ी चेंज होता है. सो कभी भी आप ऐसा नहीं सोच सकते कि आप गेम जीत चुके हैं या आप गेम हार चुके हैं, क्योंकि सब टीम में ऐसे प्लेयर्स हैं जो अकेले गेम जिता सकते हैं. एंड एट द सेम टाइम इफ यू लूज टू मेनी विकेट्स यू मे बी ऑन द लूजिंग साइड.
आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई धोनी साहब. आज लास्ट में कम से कम हम लोग के हिसाब से राम और लक्ष्मण की जोड़ी जो हम लोग बोला करते थे कि धोनी और युवराज जब अगर 50 और 100 बनाते तो मैच बिल्कुल जीतते हैं. वैसे देखा जाए तो 160 रन बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं थे. एक समय पर लग रहा था कि स्कोर कम है, लेकिन आज अपने स्पिनर्स ने जो बॉलिंग जिस ढंग से की है इट इज़ रियली फैंटास्टिक.
आई थिंक इम्पॉर्टेंट ये था कि जब मिडिल ओवर्स में यूवी बैटिंग कर रहा था, जो अभी तक हमने यहाँ पे मैचेस खेले थे उसमें विकेट थोड़ा डिफरेंट था. आज ड्यू नहीं था, एकदम ड्यू नहीं था, जिसके कारण थोड़ा बॉल और ग्रिप कर रहा था, जिसके कारण शॉट मेकिंग आसान नहीं था. तो इस सिचुएशन में 140 145 बहुत अच्छा स्कोर होता है और जब आप 145 दिमाग में रख के आगे बढ़ते हैं और आपके पास अच्छे बैट्समैन होते हैं तो 145 की जगह आप 155 या 160 बना सकते हैं और इन विकेटों में 10 और 15 रन बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं. सो आई थिंक वी हैड द राइट अप्रोच जिसके कारण हम लोग 160 के ऊपर जा सके, 160 के आसपास जा सके.
MS, I want to follow up on something that you just said. Judge karna mushkil hai. You have 3 frontline spinners, Ashwin, Mishra and Jadeja, and the first 2 have been the standard performers. So since you're so close to the action, can you tell us whether Jadeja is bowling well or not well? Because you can't really tell, because no matter how well he bowls, he can be hit for 6s and 4s all the time. So is he actually bowling well or is he not bowling well?
No, tell me one bowler who doesn't get hit, in a T20 format, doesn't get hit. So everybody gets hit. What's important is, if he gets you wicket. And the second thing is the kind of shots the batsmen they are playing, whether they are taking risk, to clear the boundaries. That's the main thing. From behind you have to judge whether it's a bad delivery or it's a good shot. At times when you have wickets in hand, the batsmen, they just play a rash shot, and if it connects, they get 6 runs out of it. So it's a good shot, they take chances against your bowler. So, that way I think he's bowling well. Last game, not this one, the last one, he was a bit unfortunate. We kept slip for him and it went over the third man. When we kept the third man, it went from the slip. So, it's very difficult to judge at times. And statistically, not only in this format, statistically to prove whether somebody is performing well or not is one of the most difficult things to do, because 4 overs somebody would have given 20 odd runs, taken 3 wickets, you'll think it's an extraordinary bowling, but there may be someone else who bowls 3 overs for 15 runs without any wicket, and it may be that the other guy got wicket because of this guy. So you have to see the action, how it's going, and what kind of a partnership the bowlers are bowling into, and then you judge who bowled how. Like today, if you see the fast bowlers, they bowled really well. And because of that, the others, they were able to dominate. When the spinners came in, they had to play the big shot. The run rate was over 10 runs, and which means that you have to go against the spin. And, that's what really counted, and we got quite a few wickets, during that course.
Could you explain Yuvraj's innings basically because he was out of form? And when you went in there, did you have to tell him anything? And did you have any discussions, on the course of the innings or how the build-up should have been?
Generally, we were discussing as to what's happening. When I went in, I was the new batsman, so obviously he gave me the feedback of what's happening, who's looking to bowl what and how the ball is coming onto the bat at what pace and everything. So we knew that partnership was very important. Though we have batsmen behind me also, you have Jadeja, Ashwin who can bat, Bhuvi can also bat a bit. But still, I always prefer that, your main batsman should bat. It's always good to not use one batsman, than to use everyone. And also we knew when the wicket is on the slower side what the pass score was. So that's what we banked upon, and we said, okay, let's play a few overs. And then we targeted a few bowlers. I won't really like to say what we said at that point of time, but we targeted a few bowlers, and we got quite a few surplus runs in those 2 or 3 overs. So it was quite calm at there, but I felt Yuvi's innings was brilliant. The way he placed his innings, and the best part was an innings like this was needed for him, where he can be expressive and he can just be himself, and it was an ideal opportunity today. He went in, played a few deliveries, and then he expressed himself. We all know the kind of batsman he is. He can clear any ground in the world, and doesn't matter whether fast bowler bowling or spinner bowling. Initially he may struggle for the first 5 or 7 deliveries. Your good luck if you get him out. If not, he'll take you out of the game.
MS Amit here. MS, you have been to the T20 World Cup semi-final and the final before way back in 2007. Could you please tell us, when in 2007 you were a young captain, how has things changed in terms of expectations, pressures, as a captain for you between that semi-final and this semi-final, in terms of team, circumstances, how have they evolved for you?
Well, there are more media people over here, compared to there. There I feel nobody came. They're like, India has just played one T20 international, let them go there. Half the team, went from England, the other half came from India. And, we did whatever we thought was the right way to do. To the extent, we used to have, what do you call when you bowl at the stump, bowl out was there. So we used to practice bowl out. It was more fun. And we ended up having a bowl out at that point of time. So nothing much changes. It was a new format. 2007, I felt it was T20 was taken more in a joking way, where they said, okay, have fun. They used to talk to they used to mic up players, talk to them, have fun, guys. It's a different format. Now it's more intense. You don't see people enjoying it. They want to win. They try to play shots that nobody has heard so far. So it has changed a lot. And yes, I have changed a lot. Now when I see a mirror, I see a lot of gray beard. So that's a blessing. And I think apart from that, the way T20 is getting played is completely different nowadays. So a lot has changed, but still, when you're part of the Indian team, the amount of pressure is the same because, once you are under 100 kg, it doesn't matter whether it's a mountain on top of you or just 100 kg sack, because after 100 kg, it's the same. So that's the kind of expectation we have, and, it will always be the same.
Thank you. We are not training tomorrow.